Hello, Fibre fans, friends, and followers. My name is Beth, and I am here to talk to you about all of the yarny things I have gotten into recently. I am a knitter and crocheter from the suburbs of Chicago, and it has been quite some time since I uploaded an episode. I actually recorded an episode back in April. And in April, I was in the midst of a lot of health issues, and I had been going back and forth to doctors, and my energy was super low. But I wanted to put something out there because I had sort of promised a PandemicKnittr get together, and that just kind of never happened. It's not like I fell off the face of the planet, I just kind of fell off the face of the internet. I was still up and active in my own little world, but kind of took a step away from the world of the internet. So I'm here. I'm doing well. I had a hip replacement surgery 3 weeks ago, so that kind of gives you a small glimpse of what it is that I've been going through. But if you're new here, I apologize for all of this intro weirdness, but I promise from here on out, it's all yarn fun. This is an episode that I recorded back in April, and I will be, there may be some talk about going to YarnCon here in Chicago. But obviously that is now over, so nothing's happening there. But I will have something at the end of the episode that you may want to stay tuned for. So in case you like getting free stuff, you just might want to stay tuned to the end. Speaking of which, Sandra, I still have your Queen Sandy bag. I will be mailing that out. So I know I have said that before. I'm sorry. I need to get that out. I will get that out. And in my next episode, expect another Queen Sandy bag giveaway. So, not this time though, but stay tuned. It's still something good. Anyhow, here's me in April. See you at the other end. Hello, Fibre fans, friends, and followers. It has been a minute. I am Beth, and I am here to talk to you about my fiber journey that I've been on over the past couple of months since I last recorded. And I'll talk a little bit about why I haven't been around and what's going on in my world. But I really want to focus on the fiber and put the other nonsense behind me. So just a brief thing about what's been going on in my world. I've been stressed out about things at work, and I think I've talked about that previously on my other episodes, but following that, I found out that I had an infection. Antibiotics were helping, but I have been on and off antibiotics for the better part of the last 2 months, and nothing seems to be working. We're not sure what the source of the infection is, so I am working through that, and as I do that, my energy levels kind of ebb and flow. So I can't guarantee that I'm going to get through this whole episode without feeling like my energy has crashed. In fact, as of this morning, first thing, I had decided there's no way I'm recording today. Enough about my health, enough about my woe is me stuff, probably a big part of it for myself is I'm having my own little pity party over it, even though I know in general I'm fine. I just know my energy levels are not what they should be. So let's get into the fiber fun. Today I am wearing my All of the Lights cardigan by Locatelli, and I have talked at length about this in previous episodes. It is an all over cable and lace pattern, and if you want to know more about it, I have done previous episodes with all of the details, but the reason why I'm wearing it today is because I am using some of the leftover yarn from this project in my scrapdigan, which I believe I talked about on my last episode, and I'm still working on that now, because that was one of those things that I had to like make some decisions about, so it's kind of dragged on, so I haven't really done a whole lot with that. But when I get to talking about my whips, I will talk more about that. So I'm going to talk about finished objects. So with all of this decreased energy and everything, I have felt like I need simple projects. So my only finished objects are socks. I'm looking right now for sock blockers. So this is, oh, I wish I could remember. I think I've got it in my show notes. Aren't these cute? Terry from my knit group, hi Terry, she gave me this yarn for Christmas. This is, I gotta look it up, Patons Kroy socks in the colorway Blue Raspberry. So these stripes, as you can see, do not match up because I pull from the center, and the center of each ball was in a different place on the yarn. You can see, like, if I did it like this, they would match up perfectly. But no, I just went from wherever the center of the ball was and did them. I don't care that they don't match exactly, but what I want to say about these is I have done a lot of sock knitting, and this yarn is really soft and comfortable, and I just really love how these feel. So this is a vanilla sock pattern. I have all the details on my Ravelry project page of how I did the sock, but generally cuff down. I do a 2x2 rib, slip stitch, heel flap and gusset, and then a round toe and Kitchener. So that was my first finish. And then once I finished those, I was, I just had to have another pair of socks on my needles in order to get through some difficult times. And I specifically remember casting these on while sitting at the doctor's office. And I want to say I did not do these two at a time. I did these one at a time. And I'm trying to remember if I did the Kroy socks, Patons Kroy socks, in the same way. I can't remember now. But I remember sitting in the waiting area and doing the cast on for these. And these are for my son. He actually wore them once, and I kind of just stole them from the dryer, which is not to say I dried them. I leave them sitting on the top of the dryer to dry. But I stole them before he could get his hands on them to wear them again. So he's only worn them once. But the reason why I wanted to finish these is because I wanted this yarn to use on my scrapdigan in order to do one of the sections of that at the very end. So I just love how these came out. I love this colorway, this stripy colorway, and I have leftovers of this still. I have enough that I could probably make a pair of socks for myself. This yarn, let me look, is Adriafil Calzasocks in the colorway 164. So I bought this yarn for my son in the yarn shop in Sheridan, Wyoming, which I cannot remember the name. I think it's Fibre Universe or the Fibre, something with fiber in it. I remember that much. But anyway, we were in Sheridan, Wyoming, and he picked out this yarn, and somebody who worked at the store helped me pick out the heel yarn, because she had suggested that since he has bigger feet than I do and I'm not used to knitting for bigger feet like that, it might be a good idea to have the contrast heels and toes. And I think I could have gotten away with it without doing the extra stuff, but again, vanilla socks, nothing special, and details are in my project notes. The next thing I finished was, believe it or not, another pair of socks. This was a Regia. I've had this one for a while. Regia, I want to say it's like City something. Let me look. City Streets. And it is in the colorway 2892, which is Manhattan. Again, these are vanilla socks. I think I might have done these one at a time as well. So that's fun, isn't it? I like how there's like a lighter blue, a darker blue, and a purple. I had been feeling like I needed more purple in my socks because I kind of like to coordinate my socks and my outfit. So I have a lot of purple shirts, and so I just felt like I needed more purple socks, and there they are. And you know, I've got this purple and blue sock too. I think I've got enough purple now. But the next one I was thinking about doing is this one, which this I've shown on a previous episode. This is not a new to me. This is Holly Press Fibers Sheepish Sock in the colorway Borage sock set in her Beekeeper's Journal series. But I just love these colors, and I'm now thinking maybe this isn't the right color for me right now because I've got a lot of blue and purple. I might have gone a little nuts on that. But that's the next one I want to cast on. Maybe. So as far as works in progress, I think everything that I am working on now, I have shown before. I had gotten away from doing this for a while because it took too much brain space for me. But I am back into it again. This is the Solomon Poncho by Cheryl Beckerich, Wise Owl Knits, and it is all over cables, and it is super fun to do, but it does take that processing that my brain was not ready for the last couple of months, and I have gotten back into it. My current plan is to do 2 rows a day, and with that I have done the math, and that would get me finished with this by the end of August. So I don't want to rush through this. Cheryl does have a knit along for this, and I'm trying to remember where she pushed out the end date to, and she might have said August. Maybe not. Maybe she said May. I don't remember, but my plan is to finish this by the end of August. I did not figure in collar time together with that, but there are days that I do more than 2 rows, and if I don't do my 2 rows, I try to make up for it the next day, and it's sort of an easier pace, and it's been working out well for me. So this yarn is Cascade Eco DK, and it is in the colorway dark chocolate, and don't you just want to eat it? My next whip is another one that you have seen before, and I don't think I even put this in my show notes because I wasn't planning to work on it, and I think when I last updated my show notes was last weekend, because I was planning to record last weekend, and then I ended up not doing that, and because I finished my socks, I needed something that was going to be simple, and I had this set aside as something that is easy to pick up and do. This is my, what is this called, you guys? I can't remember. But it is I want to say it's Plaid Wrap, Mosaic Plaid Wrap by Michael Vloedman. And I'll have the name on the screen, you'll see it. So this is all in Hedgehog Fibers, sports singles, and the colorways are listed below, and really all you're going to see on there is that some progress was made. It's all simple knits and purls, slip stitches. It's mosaic color work, so it really is, it's charted and easy to follow. So it's just keeping an eye on when you are knitting and when you're purling, and it's pretty simple of like where you want to do the different things. But I'm enjoying knitting that when my mind can't think. That has been good waiting room knitting. It's been good lunchtime knitting, break time knitting at work. It's been nice to have that when I didn't have any socks on the needles. And the only reason I didn't have socks on the needles was because I didn't have time to cake up any sock yarn this week. So I went back to that. The next thing I want to show is my crocheted poncho, which is a pattern that I am making for my friend Amber, and it is called the Perfect Pockets Shawl by Sonia Hood. And I don't remember where I was at when I last uploaded, but this is the whole thing. It is some half double crochets with this funky lace work on it, and it is a super long piece. And then I have pocket number 1 and pocket number 2. So all of the crocheting is done on this project. All that's left to do is sew it together and add the fringe. So this has been a very quick crochet, and really I'm down to the tedious parts, which are sewing things on. And I can easily do that. This is all Lion brand yarn. It is, let me look, Lion brand Heartland in the colorways Glacier Bay, which is the blue, and White Sands, the pockets. So I need to put that together and get it to Amber. This is a bag by Awesome Granny. I want to say, yes, I have that in my new to me. Project Bags from Bags by Awesome Granny. This is one of them, and I will be showing the other one because it's not housing a project right now when I get to my new to me. But this is housing my, oh, where's the hook? There it is. This is my squared up jacket. So I have not finished any full parts of this, but I can't remember if I showed this on my last episode. I might have. I want to show what happens to make this into a jacket. It is actually, it's a hexagon, and so basically, like, here's your sleeve and here's the body, and you make two of these, connect them together in back, and add length to the arm, add length to the jacket, and voila. So this is the side I'm currently working on that is not finished. This piece is, let's see, this is the sleeve here. I started adding length to the sleeve, and it is complete for the center. So it will go on like this, and then I'm just like this. It's so cool. This is Earth Unique Fingering in the colorway 3003. So it's like a self-striping yarn, and this is an Earth Designs or Earth Yarns pattern. And since starting this, I have looked up some things on YouTube. I don't know how this came across my recommended, but there was one day I saw just a thumbnail that said Hexagon cardigan, or like crochet hexagon cardigan. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And the girl had like a balloon sleeve with a tight wrist, which is kind of what I wanted, because the pattern for this jacket has a very open arm. And I was thinking what I would do is pick up and knit the stitches to make myself a cuff. And on the video that I saw, this girl had crocheted up until the cuff and made a nice tight cuff on hers. And I was like, wow, that's really cute. I like what she did. I like how she did it. And so it was a tutorial. So apparently this is a YouTube thing, because when I went and searched for it on YouTube, I found a whole lot of videos with tutorials on how to make a crochet hexagon cardigan. And I was like, I didn't know this was a thing. This is a new world I'm kind of tiptoeing into. I don't know if Earth Yarns came up with this and then other people kind of made their own things. I don't know how this happened, but I thought it was cool. So if I can find it, I will link it below. But I mean, seriously, if you're interested, just do a YouTube search for crochet, what did I say? Crochet hexagon cardigan. There's a lot of them out there. Anyhow, so my thought is I do want to do the knit cuffs on it. And so I don't know if I mentioned, this was a crochet along that I was doing with Wyoming Yarns. And so I have been communicating with Carista of Wyoming Yarns, and I went to one Zoom meeting where we kind of sat and chit-chatted together, and that was a lot of fun. I wish that I could have been there more, but you know, my schedule, their schedule, and really, I was the only one doing it online with them while they were all doing it in person, so it made it kind of difficult, because like really, as I'm sitting there on Zoom, I can pretty much only hear whoever is closest to the microphone on whatever device they were using. So it was really hard to hear. It was just like a lot of voices around the room. So it didn't even feel like a real conversation for the most part, except when I was one-on-one with someone. So it was nice to see everybody's stuff. And if you go on Instagram and look at Wyoming Yarns, they have a little fashion show that they did with everybody in their squared up jackets, and it's super cute. Everybody's came out just beautifully, and it was a fun little fashion show. Like I wish more people would do that. I wish more people would have in-person knit-alongs like that and make reels of people doing fashion shows with their finished objects. That was a really great thing. I want to see more of that. People on Instagram, please do more of that for me. Anyhow, so my last work in progress, I think, let me look through my stuff. My last work in progress is my Scrapdigan, and this is a pattern that I did a test knit for Ksenia Nedyan for, and she is Life is Cozy on Instagram, as well as I think that is her Ravelry name too. Information linked below, but I'm taking off my other cardigan so I can put this one on and show you. As you can see, I am still working on this. You can see my needle in the bottom of it there, and I'm doing things a little bit differently than recommended in the pattern, but I want to put it on so you can see all its glory. So here we go. All right. So it is a V-neck cardigan made from scraps. And you can see my ends have not been woven in. But so you can do it to whatever length you want. And mine is just down past my derriere. And I have a feeling that when I block it, it's going to stretch out even more. So that is that. So what I wanted to point out on this that I am currently working on, this is the hem of the sweater. And I am doing it differently than the way she suggests in the pattern. What I am doing, so this is that last row. This is the yarn from the heels and toes of my son's socks. Universal Yarn Uni Merino. That was the heels and toes in the colorway Dragonfly. So I love this turquoise color. I am a turquoise fan. I would say of all colors, turquoise is probably my favorite. So let me do a quick little show of all of the textures on this. This is a great experiment in all kinds of different textures. And this bottom hem, it is supposed to be done in the same way as the cuffs on the sleeves. And I finished my sleeves first because that was one of the requirements of the test knit. So I don't like how the cuff is flaring the way it is. So I thought I would try how she recommended to do the button band as the hem so that I wouldn't see this flaring in the same way. And essentially, this is a double knit hem. I'm trying to find the end. It's a double knit hem. So you've got a bunch of stitches this way, and you are knitting and slipping as you go. And that makes this double knit effect. So it looks the same on this side as it does on this side. And you don't really have any sort of ridge or anything here. Here you have this ridge, which is intentional. This is knit down from the sleeve, and then there's a row of purl, and then you knit further, and then you 3-needle bind off, which creates that flared thing. And maybe if I had gone down a needle size or something in order to bring the sleeve in or the cuff in some more, it might have avoided that. I don't know. But this, I would say, going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, it's like that I-cord bind off that people dread so much. Because instead of just doing 1 or 2 stitches to bind off each stitch, you're doing, I think it's something like 13 or 15 stitches to bind off each stitch. And because this sweater is the way I'm doing the hem is sort of perpendicular to the work that I was doing. So this is the bottom row of the sweater, and I am knitting back and forth perpendicular to the sweater. So I'm going this way. So this is my row gauge, while on this we're looking at a stitch gauge. 2 different animals. So what I've been doing is I have been adding an extra row into my knitting every so many rows that I do. So to be truthful, I don't know exactly how many rows I'm going to add that extra row, because I haven't really thought through the math of what I'm doing. And it's one of those things that, like, I would have to really focus and think about it a lot to figure out, am I doing it every 5 rows, or am I doing it every 6 rows? Or I don't know. I don't know. I just know that when I look at it on the garment, it looks like it's gonna lay right. So I'm sort of doing this. And I hope it works out in the end. But if it doesn't, I'll figure out something else. I don't know. My mom calls every time I'm recording. Hi, Mom. I'm recording. I'll call you back. Anyhow, and I haven't recorded for 2 months. How does she do that? How does she know? Anyhow, that's the scrapped again. I should be finished with this eventually. No promises on that. Unlike my nice close August 31st date. For those of you who are watching well in the future, today is April 7th. Yes, April 7th. And I know that because my next doctor appointment is tomorrow on April 8th. I'm so tired of doctor appointments, you guys. I'm so tired. I have had an MRI, I've had a CT scan, I have had x-rays, I have had blood drawn, I have gone to see my doctors multiple times in my regular doctor's office. I'm sick to death of it. I want this to be over so badly. I want to feel healthy and like myself again. And instead, I'm just constantly having a personal pity party. But now I'm moving past that. Okay, into new to me. So I showed you that one bag from Bags by Awesome Granny. I don't know if she has any more of those. This is my other one. I saw it and I was like, oh, that is so springy. That is so pretty. I need to have this. And I apologize for the crinkling. But here it is. A lovely batch of tulips that should be showing their faces right now. My tulips have started to come up, but because this weather has been as funky as it is here in the Chicago area, I don't know if the tulips are going to bloom this year. We've had warm, then cold, then warm, then cold. So love this bag. All the aspects of it, the handle, little, I don't know what you call that, ring. And something will soon hop into that bag. I don't know what, but something. Possibly my next thing. So I don't remember when it was, but LoveCrafts had a sale. It was like 25% off everything. So I hopped on. I had seen an Instagram post for the Carolyn shawl. I think it was on Instagram. It's by Leela Francombe. I think she's Leela Mary on Instagram. But you guys, this thing is so pretty. And like her colors are my colors. So I found this. This is Malabrigo Silky Merino. And this colorway is Ankara Green. And I would say this is more turquoisey to me. And yeah, this looks very turquoise to me. And then I actually bought 4 different colors because I think I needed that to get the free shipping. And I thought, why not? So, Bobby Blue. Nope. Okay. I only brought one of the Bobby Blue up. So this is Bobby Blue. Looks like a very denim color. And you can see how much drape is in this. You know, this is a very drapey silky merino. This is all silky merino. And then I've got the colorway, I don't know if that's Mares or Maris, but this is more of a dark navy blue. So for this Carolyn shawl, I want to use these 2 colors together. It is a brioche shawl, and I'm not a shawl wearer, but when I see a pretty pattern, I just want to make it. So that's what the plan is for this. So the other color I got from LoveCrafts was this lovely royal blue, which is called Matisse Blue. And so I think I may be able to do something with the 2 of these together. I don't know. We'll see what that wants to become. But I have 3 of each of these. And this was that Bobby Blue. And On the website, this looked very turquoise. It looked very different from this, the Mare's Blue. But look at how similar they really are. I was really shocked to see how similar they were in comparison to the pictures on the website. They looked nothing alike on the website. So that just, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, I'm fine with that. I'll make the best of it and I will move on with my life. Over here, this is Leap of Faith yarns. This was one of her Valentine's Day colorways, which I'm a sucker for Valentine's Day because it's my birthday. So I saw this maybe 2 days before and I was like, all right, I just gotta get something that's Valentine's Day. So here it is. I got this cute sock set. It is a 75-25% merino nylon blend. And it is her fingering sock weight, and the kit, I guess, the sock set is called Smitten. So I don't wear pink at all. I bought this because it was Valentine's Day, because I have a Valentine's Day birthday and I need Valentine's Day socks. So maybe this will be a pair of socks by next Valentine's Day for me, and it'll be a little birthday gift to myself. Next new to me is, any of you watch The Woolly Thistle? I think they call theirs a shopcast, which I like. I think that's a cute name for a podcast that if you have a yarn shop, you call it a shopcast. So, making tracks. So, this is by Junction Fibre Mill, and this is 100% American wool, it says, and it is a DK weight. I'm going to pair this with this Frangipani 5-ply Guernsey wool. So I've got this great big cone of sport weight yarn that I will be putting together with this Making Tracks yarn. And I am planning to make Andrea Mowry's Spark cardigan. Now, that is done in worsted weight yarn. So, this is a sport weight. This is a DK weight. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to do a gauge swatch and then some math to figure out what size I need to do to make this the right size for me. And I did buy 2 of these, but I don't think I'm even going to need a full one of these. And I don't know why I bought 2 of these, except that I really like the colors. Oh, Colorway. Let's see. Hydrangea. And this one, I see nothing. I see nothing about a colorway, but it's very turquoisey. Have I shown you everything? Oh, I have not. I have not. More crinkles, guys. Okay. So, do you ever order like on a pre-order and you think you're not ordering it on a pre-order? You think it's in stock? Desert Vista Dye Works. I feel like that's what happens to me every time. Look at that. Isn't that just the prettiest? It is on their sparkle base, which is called, I think it's called Zine, Z-I-E-N. And the colorway is, I can't read that. It's backwards. Aqua Iris. And it is a self-striping yarn. I'm not sure yet what I'll do with this, although wouldn't it pair nicely with that? I don't know. I'm excited. This is gonna, recently I've seen some self-striping yarns with a solid color to make these really cool looking patterns. And I'm interested in like what I could do with that. But then that makes socks into something you have to pay attention to and not just knit without thinking. So that's something I need to balance for myself. So anyhow, that's all I've got for you today. I think I'm probably not going to edit and publish today. I don't know when this will get out in the world. Oh, there will be a meetup in July, at the end of July, the last weekend in July. And that is being hosted by Penny of PJ Knits, as well as her friend Kendra. And I will put a link below to the PJ Knits podcast discussion group on Ravelry. That is where all of the details are about this, and I am going to that. I know some of my knit group friends are planning to go to that, and I think a lot of the people who have been to the previous Frivolous and Frugal 3-ply podcast meetups have been there. It is at the same hotel where they have had their meetups, and it's the same timing as they've had their meetups, but because Frivolous and Frugal has kind of tabled things for a while, I think they are not hosting this year. And so the event will go on, just not all of the same faces are hosting. So I'm very much looking forward to this. Oh, and I know I had said I was going to have an April meetup, but with my health things, I have decided to table that as well. So my plan is to be at this meetup in July. If you want to see me, please come there. Please see all the details. Okay, I hope you're glad that you stuck it out until the end, because I have this to give away. This is a Shark Week bag that was made by Susan of Delightful Works. It is a drawstring bag. It has a nice box bottom, so it can stand up like a bucket. It's a small project bag. It may fit 2 skeins. Easily it fits 1. But it's a good one for socks. And this was specifically made for Shark Week. That is a knit along that is run by politically incorrect knitters. This is a knit along that I've participated in the past, and I plan to participate in it again. If you're interested in being considered to win this bag, please comment below anything about sharks, and I will be drawing a winner for that. This is going to be a quick turnaround time, so you may have missed it if you did not watch this video as soon as it came out, because I would like to draw a winner by July 2nd. Totally my fault that I waited this long to get into the process of making this video and editing and uploading and all that I'm trying to get done in such a short amount of time. But Shark Week begins July 7th. So I want to try to get this bag to the winner by Shark Week. So It doesn't have to be for someone who's participating in that knit along. If you just like this bag for whatever reasons you happen to like this bag, just use the word shark in your comment and I will know that is your indication to me that you would like to be considered for the giveaway. So I most likely will not be recording another episode by that time. I may be ambitious enough to do such a thing. Most likely what I will do is I will just reply to your comment with "you're the winner." But know this, it will come from PandemicKnittr. And it's not PandemicKnittr 1, 2, 3, 4 or anything like that. It is just PandemicKnittr. So I don't want anyone to be giving away personal information to anybody who's not me. So just a little warning before, you know how people are in comments sometimes. Anyhow, I am going to wrap this one up with a little bow by saying, please remember to like and subscribe, survive and thrive, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.